Hello everybody, welcome. It's Wednesday night. We're talking about what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. Very exciting. The Stormers have kicked off with their first game. We've got competitions happening on the weekends. The Varsity Cup is up and running. So yes, we can well and truly say that it's the rugby season. Big thanks to our partners here on board with us at Cape Rugby TV, Direct Access, your financial services partner. Score Energy Drinks. As you know, they're on board with the Western Province Club Rugby Sevens. Yes Electrical down at Voortrekker Road. Intercape is the official transport provider for Western Province Rugby and the DHL Stormers. And of course, Thorburn Security. We've got some great competitions up for you this evening, so make sure that you keep your mobile phone handy, and we will give you an opportunity to win yourself a case of Score Energy Drinks a little bit later. Let me introduce you to my panel this evening. Well, don't really need to introduce you anymore. I can just say hello. Jerome Paarwater. Nice to have you back, Jerome.
Yeah, JP, good to be back again. And yeah, what full week of rugby for us, and the club squad are playing this weekend, so we're busy playing against Boland at Newlands on Saturday. So yeah, looking forward to see them in action again.
Well, we're looking forward to that conversation because we're going to obviously find out where you're playing and how you guys are doing and all your testing. Also joining us on the show this evening, Mr. Danny Jones. Danny, nice to have you back.
Evening, JP. It's good to be back.
You're looking very formal.
Always formal, JP.
And I must say, you were also looking formal on Saturday, because when I looked on TV and when I was watching the game, I saw in the background there where there's a nice table where the officials are sitting, and there was Mr. Danny Jones sitting all very prim and proper.
Well, JP, on a Saturday I'm the match manager, so Sanzo has certain rules, and the match manager needs to coordinate a number of things. So that's why you see me with a collar and tie.
Collar and tie, and a walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
And a walkie-talkie. But it's exciting though. Stormers back at Newlands. There was, I think, just under 20,000 fans at Newlands to watch them against the Hurricanes. Feels like the rugby vibe is on now.
It's on, JP. Stormers had a good win, and we're looking forward to the Bulls this weekend, as well as the Western Province invitation against Boland. So all systems go.
Did you expect such a big win? 29-0 against the Hurricanes?
27-0.
Was it 27? Oh, this of course the last year.
No, I didn't expect. I expected a victory, but not with that quantum.
Well, we're happy to get the ball rolling as well. Jerome, Herschel Giantjes again shining at Newlands.
I spoke to Herschel on Monday and I said, Herschel, while it's going good, just ride the wave, bro, because something's happening, because everything is just, you can't do anything wrong. Use it and just keep on going.
The dots have connected for him. But I mean, forget about the dots being connected. He's just got a natural talent. He finds the space. He's got great gas. He's got a fantastic service. It really is great to watch him play. And I mean, it's like, you know, he's one of those danger factors in the team. You're not sure what's going to happen.
No, exactly. And for him to saw that when he kicked that cross kick to Sergel, in a split second he saw Barrett is up.
Yeah.
There's no one there. And it was actually a bad ball that he got.
I saw that.
And just kick it.
Yeah.
And it worked. So I said to him, like, everything that you do just works, so you must keep on going.
Incredible kick though, because it was from the one side of the field all the way to the other side. It wasn't halfway. It was like maybe between the halfway line and the touch line, which means it was probably a 50-meter kick. And to land it pin spot on Sergio was exactly right.
No, it's I still remember 2 years ago the final against the Bulls. Also a bad ball from the scrum, just outside the Bulls 22. He drop kick over.
Yeah. Danny, on a slightly more somber note, Sia Khaleesi out injured, took a blow to the knee there. Have we got any news on it?
JP, I'm not a medical man, so you need to speak to the medics, but from what the reports we read in the newspaper, it seems like Sia will be out for 6 to 8 weeks with the MCL. But it's sad that he got hurt that way. I mean, the ball left him 20 minutes before the play. Yeah, it was sad, but we look for the future and we say, we wish him well with his recovery.
Yeah, 6 to 8 weeks. That's not too long in some players' careers. So hopefully Sia's back on the park at Newlands shortly. Yeah. Stormers games coming up this weekend though. Some more exciting on the cards.
Look, the Stormers play the Bulls. It's always a very well attended game at Newlands. There's a lot of Bull supporters running around here. And obviously with the Stormers with a victory and the Bulls without the victory, it's going to be a humdinger.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
Well, yeah, we've always known the Bulls Western Province game to be a derby, going back all the years. Yeah, folks, we've got some great interviews and footage for you this evening. We went out to Watsonia. They're of course playing in the City League at the moment. We went out to watch Watsonia in their pre-season training. We're going to catch up with them in a second, where we of course spoke to their one of the Exco members there, Ishmael Juta, as well as the prop from Watsonia, Muhammad Peterson. And then, of course, one of our favorites out there, Alfred Kawana. He wasn't with us, but Busy Bees pre-season training. We'll speak to the guys there. Of course, also busy with pre-season. We'll catch up with their coach, Alvandre Filis, as well as Busy Bee Center, Azingizile Nochi. And then we'll take a look at some of your friendly fixtures coming up. And as we have been doing for a while now, we go and watch the DHL Stormers behind the scenes as they are practicing at the High Performance Centre. But let's go first to local clubs and we take a look at what's happening at Watsonia. This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks and MChem 24-Hour Pharmacy. This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks and MChem 24-Hour Pharmacy. Right, welcome back everybody. Watsonia there, the guys out at their pre-season session there, Jerome. We're seeing similar stuff every week?
Yeah, it's the same stuff, JP. One thing that I pick up, they were doing sort of a defense drill with the guys there, but just for the coaches out there, now is the time to actually bring the technique also in. I see the guys are keeping the seals too high.
Okay.
So maybe just come a bit lower, because that now everything above the shoulders is high tackles. So the most important thing for guys is you can almost let the guy sit on his knee with the seal, so that the guy can sort of duck and hit. So you must now combine it with the right technique also.
Danny, let's just go to that. I'm just thinking around at Western Province, you've got this program called Box Smart. I think it's a national program. We often think about safety when the season starts and the fixtures start. Obviously, if it's pre-season, the coaches and management must still be concerned around the safety of the players.
No, sure, JP, there's a big drive in World Rugby about player welfare. And so the Box Smart is South African version of the World Rugby players' welfare. So the fundamental component of it is to skill and inform coaches about player welfare, what to concentrate on. Like Jerome was mentioning, the tackle these days, anything above the shoulder is banned. That's why the player was sent off against Skara. There was belief that it should have been a red card, because the only thing that saved him apparently, because he ducked and then he went up.
Yeah.
But you can duck and go up, but only up to a certain point. So coaching is important to try and minimize and get the correct body position, so that you're not penalized, and from a referee's point of view, and obviously you don't endanger your opposition.
So when the guys are busy with their pre-season training, like we saw there now, bag practice and holding the pads and going low down, you've obviously, as a coach, you've got to be aware of the box smart components that you've been taught.
Yes, Jerome, that's right, JP. Earlier today, Jerome and the referees had sessions with coaches around the new laws and law interpretation, and this is definitely one of the aspects that they dealt with.
Tell us a little bit about that, Jerome. New laws and new law interpretations.
Yeah, it's as Mr. Jones was saying, the new law is more to let the coaches know that the referees are going to be strict, and everybody out there must understand with a high tackle around the neck, it's going to be a yellow card or a red card. So that's mainly that, and at the breakdown. Clean outs also on the neck and shoulders. That's out. So
and you're busy going through
the club, with the coaches in the referees. So that's why I said, like, the clubs now must let the referees come out in this time in pre-season to come in, ref them a breakdown, ref them tackle situations, so that they know.
All right, folks, we of course also managed to catch up with Watsonia prop Muhammad Peterson, and when we come back, we move to Busy Bees. Don't forget, a little bit later in the show, we'll take a look at some of the friendlies that are coming up this weekend. We go behind the scenes with the DHL Stormers. We'll take a look at the Cape Rugby TV Super Brew pool, and of course, the Varsity Cup results, not to mention the Super Rugby results. All that and more coming up next. This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks, and MChem 24-Hour Pharmacy.
Assalamu alaikum. Yes, it's been a very, very good and prospering pre-season. Our numbers has been extremely good this year. We've been having numbers of 60, 70 players plus on pre-season, which is a really good sign for Whitesonia. The guys at the club really enjoy the spirits here. I think we look at the players, they really can't wait for the season to start. I mean, playing in the City League is one of the good things this year, because we're playing rival derbies. Almost every game is going to be a derby. We really look at it properly. So our training is extensive. Our pre-season has been good this year. Our preparations is in place. So come the season, or come the league time, then we hope all our processes are good, and the effort that we put in will shine.
Well, our rugby and our numbers are in a much healthier state than it was for the previous 2 seasons. I think the previous 2 seasons we didn't even have pre-season. We didn't have any friendly span, okay, and that's changed because we were in a exchange or a changeover phase. Okay, a lot of old players retired, and we didn't do much on the recruitment side. But we sat down during last season, and even in NFL we started increasing our numbers. But then we were disappointed when we got to the sites where we played, because our opposition basically only had one side as well. And it's crucial for us to play City League in order for our club to survive and go from strength to strength.
This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks, and MChem 24-Hour Pharmacy. Welcome back, folks. Cape Rugby TV. Remember, a little bit later during the course of the show, you can win yourself a case of Score Energy Drinks. All that's coming up a little bit later during the show. Don't forget, all you need to do is keep your mobile phone handy. We were, of course, out at the Watsonia, and then during the week we went out to visit Busy Bees. Currently playing in Super League B. They ended up number 12 in the league last week, but they've managed to stay in Super League B, and that's exactly what they were looking for. So it's a second year running now, together with their neighbours Langa. So expect 2 teams there from the same field in Super League B. Let's catch up with some of the pre-season training, and then we'll move to their coaches, and then we'll speak to Mr. Danny Jones and Jerome Parvata about Busy Bees' chances in Super League B this year. This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks, and MChem 24-Hour Pharmacy. This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks and MChem 24-hour pharmacy. Super League B, Busy Bees in action then. As I mentioned, we would see Alfred Kawana in the background there looking very formal and very dapper. Jerome, always nice to see Alfred in the background.
Alfred will always be there, and you can see he's still in his sort of work kit.
Yeah.
But he won't miss a session, and he won't miss anything.
He won't miss it, he's always there. No, Mr. Jones, I almost didn't recognize him in his Busy Bees suit.
Alfred is Mr. Busy Bees. I must compliment him and his exco for the behind the scenes work that they do. And as you could see that video, it speaks to youth, it speaks to women, and it speaks to the seniors, which is great.
Let's quickly, because I want to talk to you about that. I know you guys have got your strategic planning or Bosparat or whatever you're doing this weekend, and I'm going to be helping you with that this weekend. I'm going to talk to you about that, and you mentioned a couple of things there about teams playing together. You spoke a little bit about women's together, so I'm going to definitely move our conversation in that direction. I think there's a massive, massive opportunity for Western Province Rugby and the clubs, and what you guys are doing this weekend is absolutely exceptional. So I don't want to take your food for thought away right now. So I'm going to go to Jerome. Jerome, the training itself slightly different. We see the same kind of drills, the same kind of tackle bags, but we're seeing a mixed a group of players there. What I'm seeing there is also some decent quality drills, well, in my limited experience, but I'm also seeing like a gears.
Yeah, it is, JP, and you can see the higher up guys go, you can see the intensity of the training. You can see they work on the right technique with the tackle drill now, which they did there, nice and low, and with the handling, it's just the intensity is there, and also with such a big group, they have their stations and everybody's busy working.
Yeah. Danny, just again, without going into your strategic session for this weekend, it just goes to show what we can do at Club Rugby, because a pass is a pass, a tackle is a tackle, a bag is a bag. You don't need to split genders.
No, that's good. Yeah, what you can see there is also build that whole community spirit.
Yeah.
But I want to say the one nice thing about Busy Bees, they have produced two Springboks over the last few years, Jongi and Mpimpi. You know, Mpimpi played for them in 2016, I think 2015, 2016. So, yeah, they've done well for rugby development.
Well, and of course, Langa's just around the corner.
Langa's around the corner. I mean, they and Langa will be playing again this year in derbies, and Langa has done well. So I'm looking forward to the big Langa derby.
Can you imagine what Super League B is going to be like this year? Langa and Busy Bees, that derby in Super League B, when we know just how tough Super League B can be. This is going to be a great season, folks. 2020 is going to be absolutely fantastic. But yeah, Busy Bees, of course, sticking around there in Super League B, and we saw the quality of Langa at Newlands last year, so very exciting. We managed to catch up with Busy Bees. They've got a new coach now, Alvandre Phillis, and of course Alvandre was previously at LC Sofia and NTK, and he's managed to take the helm there now. Let's hear what he has to say. This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks and MChem 24-hour pharmacy.
Ja, nee, ek geniet dit hoor. Is toch lekker klomp numbers by die klub. Kyk na my backline is net die backs is baie lekker om mee te werk. Omdat hulle ja, is lekker. Ja, is 'n lekker gevoel. Om te sien jy die numbers op die veld. Soveel girls, so baie boys op die veld is lekker, maar is 'n lekker gevoel. En maar dit maak het net makliker vir my om te werk mee. Ja, is exciting om te sien die vroue rugby kom op. As baie girls wat talentvol is en wat altyd die geleenthede kry nie. En nou wat by die girls rugby so deurkom, kry daai girls ook die geleentheid om 'n bietjie hulle skill te wys en so aan. Nee, ek dink ons sal reg wees so. Dink jy man as die commitment daar is, dan gaan het definitief groot aanspraak maak op Super A-liga. Maar ons vat hom maar stap vir stap, game vir game en so aan.
This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks and MChem 24-hour pharmacy. There we go, Alvandre Phillis, of course, formerly at LC Sofia, and great to see him in action there, Jerome.
I hope he said that he spoke to the guys, and they said he asked them what's their target, and they said they want to move up to Super League A. So good luck to him, and I hope that he can keep that numbers there. Must just be careful, the rain is still coming in Cape Town.
The rain's still coming.
So we must just keep the people happy and keep them coming. So
Danny, sorry, Jerome, your advice for a coach that moves from one club to another club, especially when you get to a challenging league like Super League B?
Well, he's fortunate in the sense that he won't be playing Elsie's River, so that rivalry won't be there. But look, these things happen, JP, and it's part of life. They just have to, I mean, the club they left, they just have to leave on a good footing and build relationships, and their main focus is to improve rugby and improve them as coaches.
Yeah. All right, folks. So a bit of work on the cards there for Alvandre. But let's catch up now with Busy Bee centre Azingizile Noche. He's a cousin of Sibkombuze Noche. This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks, and MChem 24-hour Pharmacy.
Yeah, we're looking good. The guys are very excited to be back for the 2020 new season. I mean, we just can't wait to get the fixtures and to start our friendly games, of which our friendly game is on the 28th of February, so which is around the corner. So the coaches are working very hard to get us together and put our structures all together as well. And yeah, the guys are very excited to be back and looking forward to the new season for the second year on Super League B. Yeah, it's going to be very exciting, I must tell you. But yeah, as Busy Bees, we're still very proud of ourselves for winning the race to the Super League B. We're the first black team to reach the Super League B. So we're still very proud of ourselves about that. Coming to the derby, I mean, even myself, I feel very excited and I miss the derby because, I mean, the stadium gets packed and then we share the songs. I mean, it's very exciting on the day, so we're looking forward to it. Yeah.
This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks, and MChem 24-hour Pharmacy. All right, welcome back, everybody. It's Cape Rugby TV. Coming up this weekend, we will, of course, have a couple of friendlies that are starting to roll out. Belleville will be up against Hopefield. Atlantis take on Police. And then, of course, also this weekend, it's the Ikapa Hands and Hearts Sevens tournament at the Aikendale Sports Ground in Kraaifontein. Jerome, Belleville, Hopefield. Ek weet nie veel van Hopefield se rugby af nie.
Ja, Hopefield.
Ken jy nie Suid-Afrikaanse rugby nie, JP, want wat julle kom aan van Hopefield? Ricky January.
All right. That's my education. Hopefield and Belleville in the pre-season training, Jerome. Well, how do you think that'll go?
No, I'm glad to see that Hopefield is coming to Belleville because Belleville went, I think 2 years ago, they went to Hopefield. And last year they were supposed to come to Belleville and they didn't come. So
what's the connection? Why Hopefield? I mean, Belleville and Hopefield, and you say they're back and forth with each other.
Yeah, Warren Isaacs, I think his sister lives in Hopefield and he's a lot in Hopefield. Right. So that's the connection there.
I love Hopefield. I think Hopefield's a fantastic little town.
No,
right there on the Berg River, and they've got nice flower shows and all that. Not that I know much about flowers, but I've been up there.
No, it's a great town and a good rugby community. As Mr. Jones said, that Ricky January is from there. His family is still there, so he put Hopefield on the map. And also there was a referee, Steph Nell.
All right,
also Steph Nell, who you know.
So there's a bit of pedigree there.
So he's still in Hopefield. So there's a bit of rugby people in Hopefield, yeah.
Danny, last week we featured some of Police Rugby's pre-season training. We see that they're playing this weekend against Atlantis. Police has been at Western Province now. They went through a probationary period a few years ago. They're now firmly entrenched back into the ranks, so to speak, at Western Province Rugby. How do you, from an administrative point of view, how are you feeling about the progress at Police?
JP, the progress as well. I mean, the club structure is in place, and there is support from the Cape Town and provincial office. And if they can get all the policemen available to the club and not to other clubs, they'll be a strong club.
Right, folks, we're still looking out for the progress there on how Police are going to do. But, of course, Atlantis I'm sure also really keen on the rugby season this year. We did get a poster in from Hands and Hearts. You can see it on the screen right now. That's this coming weekend on Saturday. With an entry fee of 20 Rand for adults and 10 Rand for kids under 12. Kicks off at 9 a.m. They've got live entertainment, live music, food and refreshments on sale with raffles and prizes on the day. So that's the Hands and Hearts Sevens this weekend. Folks, we're going to take an ad break. As I did mention to you earlier on, for those of you that want to put yourself in the mix to win a case of Score energy drinks, you can do that simply by sending the word SCORE to 33090. So grab your mobile phone and send that word SCORE to 33090. Congratulations to last week's winner, Wynand Slabbert. Wynand, someone from Cape Rugby TV is going to be in touch with you shortly, and you'll win yourself a case of Score energy drinks. Folks, we'll take an ad break. When we come back from the break, we go down to the High Performance Centre in Bellville, where the DHL Stormers are, of course, busy with their pre-season training. And we'll take a look at our Varsity Cup results, the Super Rugby results. We'll talk about the Super Brew fixtures, and then we'll speak to Mr. Danny Jones about this weekend's strategic session that's happening. Very exciting for Western Province Rugby. Back in a sec. Welcome back, folks. Right, of course, DHL Stormers started their season this weekend. They played against the Hurricanes at Newlands. Close on just over 20,000 people at Newlands. Very exciting. Stormers walking away with a win there against the Hurricanes. Jerome, good win for the Stormers or bad day for the Hurricanes?
No, it's always a good win if you can beat the New Zealand side and also without no points.
Yeah.
We all know how they can play with the skill level, and they're known for scoring tries. So yeah, it's a good start for the Stormers, and it's good for the fans going out there to see there is something positive happening. So yeah, it's good.
I mean, that's exceptionally unique when you see a 0 on the board. That doesn't happen often. Why is that? Is it because of very good defense, or is it because of poor attacking?
Look, it's a combination, and I must say the attacking play of the Hurricanes was very bad, but it was good defense overall from the Stormers also. So it's a combination. There was a couple of times where they had line breaks, but then bad pass, so they couldn't score. But it's a combination between the two.
Yeah, Danny, it's of the last year at Newlands. How was that? You were on the side of the field, closer to the action than anybody can get. How was the Gears at Newlands? Are people talking about it?
Look, the Gears is good, JP. The Gears at Newlands is always wonderful. Our passionate supporters and all those things. And I do believe that now that we got the one against the Highlanders done, the impact of that there were very little activities this week in Cape Town, a lot of people will come down to Newlands and watch and support their Stormers.
Yeah. All right, we're going to talk to you a little bit more about Newlands, of course, in the weeks to come. DHL Stormers, the High Performance Centre, we managed to catch up on some of the behind-the-scenes practices. This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks, and MChem 24-Hour Pharmacy. This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks and MChem 24-hour pharmacy. DHL Stormers behind the scenes there, Jerome. Let's talk to you. The guys behind the scenes practice a little bit different to what we're seeing with the preseason now, and we're seeing quite a lot of more rugby-specific draws. They're using a lot of power bands and stuff.
Yeah, and it's because it's basically in season for them now. So they're doing resistant training with the wood breakdown. They're using a lot of back to get the contact in. And also, JP, as we said earlier on, nothing stops you or ask the referees department now. It's actually the right time to send the ref out. If you see there that.
Well, I was gonna ask you about that because we've seen this before. Is this what you're talking about?
Yeah, see JD, that referee there. He's I see him a lot at the HPC. He's a lot there. When they do breakdown, to just tell the players, okay, you're from the side here, you're a bit high up, and that's we can penalize you for that. And also the ball carrier, if they go to steal, what he can do, the stealer, what they can do. So there's a lot of, it's a combination what the ref can tell a player and the coach before you start complain and moan. Do the right things, get the people involved there, they do the stuff, and your players know that, they can ask the ref questions, and that's how they can do it.
So at which stage do you do that? And I'm going to go to Mr. Jones on this now because I think surely there's a process involved in terms of how do you get a referee. You can't probably just phone the referee directly. But at which stage before the first game do they start with us? Because now it's still pre-season and the clubs are doing fitness and conditioning. Do they start now?
I would say it's the best time actually now to bring in the refs now. And this is actually the right time now. As you said, now it's time to do the right technique and to teach your players to go whatever the right way into the season.
What level, Danny, what level referee would you recommend is doing what JD is doing there at the Stormers? And if a club wants a referee to come to their practice session, what's the procedure for them to follow?
Well, there's numerous ways they could do it. They could email Ben or Joey, Ben Taran in the office, or Joey, the chairman. They also could engage with, there are 8 regions that the referees has been divided into, and they can contact the regional guy and say, look, could you send the referee across? We would like you to look at this and that. So they have access to our referees on a weekly basis.
And from a protocol point of view, that's the procedure you want them to follow. Don't call referees directly. I mean, you might end up having one referee getting pulled to 10 different clubs.
Yeah, do it through the office.
Yeah, through the office. All right. Right, folks, there's always a protocol that's best followed. And so follow Jerome's advice on trying to get a referee to your club and follow Mr. Jones's advice on following the right protocol. We managed to catch up with DHL Stormers wing Leo Linzas. This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks and MChem 24-hour pharmacy.
Ja, het was uitstekende performance. Ik denk die boys was net excited om weer op Nieuweland te wees soos het laaste jaar. Daar so ek kon net sien al vroeër in die week ons het goed voorberei en en dit toe by die Saterdag afgekom. Coach Jan gesê dat ek dink daar sal die week baie veranderinge wees hier. Kyk jy wil hy momentum hou en die wen spirit by mekaar hou. So ouens is al dieselfde paar ouens wat al jare hier by WP is, Thomas is, so dink jy sal veranderinge wees. Eerstens om jou eerste game te wen is altyd 'n goeie confidence builder vir die campaign en veral in Nieu-Seeland span met 'n 0 te wen op Nieuweland is altyd spesiaal. So ek dink dit is nie net vir die ouens wat gespeel het se confidence, maar ons ook wat nie gespeel het nie. Dit maak 'n groot verskil en gee vir ons confidence vir die jaar vorentoe. Dat is enetjie wat persoonlik is, so Noord-South Derby is altyd een van die grootstes in Suid-Afrika en ek dink die boys weet wat gaan kom. Die Bulls het nou verloor laas week, maar ek dink hulle is mentally prepared vir die ene wat die naweek kom en ons moet net doen wat ons voorberei is voor en dan sal dit 'n goeie een wees. Ek het geen dink is dat Nieuweland sal vol wees Saterdag, maar die Blue Bulls het ook 'n klomp ondersteuners die kant in die Kaap, so het gaan nie 'n maklike ene wees nie, maar ons sal die meerderheid te fans daar hê en ek sien uit na Pak Stadium in Nieuweland Saterdag.
This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks and MChem 24-hour pharmacy. Right then, welcome back everybody. As you know, the Stormers Super Rugby season is cracking on. Off with a great start, 27-0 against the Hurricanes at Newlands. How fantastic was that? Let's quickly take a look at the Super Rugby results, of course, over the weekend. It was a win for the Blues, 29-37 over the Chiefs. The Brumbies, 27-24 over the Reds. The Sharks with a win on Friday night against the Bulls, 23-15. The Sunwolves beating the Rebels 36-27. The Crusaders out of the starting blocks 43-25. Stormers, as we know, 27-0 against the Hurricanes, and the Jaguars beating the Lions 38-8. Coming up this weekend, of course, the DHL Stormers take on the Bulls at Newlands. Look out for that. But then, of course, it's the Highlanders up against the Sharks, the Brumbies and the Rebels, the Chiefs and the Crusaders, Waratahs against the Blues, the Lions and the Reds, the Stormers and the Bulls, and the Jaguars against the Hurricanes. So Super Rugby is up and running. It's very exciting. And as I said, you can join our Super Rugby pool. The Cape Rugby TV pool has amalgamated once again. We've got just over 1,000, I think just over 1,000 participants as part of our Cape Rugby TV pool. Great to have. And as I said, we'll do our top 10. Our top 10, of course, in Super Rugby TV, Cape Rugby TV Super Rugby pool. Let's take a look here. Number 1 sits at Jacques. Looks like Jacques Frillian. Cecil sits at number 2. SB at number 3. Hein 15 at number 4. Claire is at number 5. Obi at number 6. Maggie at number 7. Mike is at number 8. BEE is at number 9. And number 10 looks like MYZ. Those are your top 10 Super Brew pools. The names on Super Brew are always fascinating. We absolutely love it. Of course, this weekend it's a Varsity Cup as well, at least not this weekend, but we did say that the Varsity Cup was going to be looked at. Fixtures coming up, but let's first look at the Varsity Cup results. UJ went down to Ikeys 25-16. UWC went down to Wits 40 points to 10, and then Marty's beating Shimlers 67-16. Jerome, Varsity Cup up and running now. A good win for Ikeys.
Yeah, very good away win for Ikeys. Always good to get points away from home. So yeah.
Yeah. Mr. Jones didn't go UWC's way.
No, I don't know what happened with my alma mater, but I reckon they'll be back.
They'll be back. UWs will be back, and of course, you will be very happy with Marty's result over Shimlers.
Yeah, it's a big result. So yeah.
Do you rate out of these teams like UJ and Wits and Shimlers that we've got the ball rolling with? Do you rate these teams as tough teams?
No, the Shimlers are tough. Wits have always been tough. UJ, and don't forget Tux and Pucker.
Yep, Tux and Pucker as well. Yeah. All right, let's take a look at then some of the Varsity Cup fixtures coming up this coming week. Wits are up against UJ. Ikeys are at home. They'll be hosting NWU, and then CUT are playing against Tix, while Shimlers take on a UWC. So UWC has got an away trip this weekend, Jerome. They're going to have to do a little bit better than they did over the weekend. Shimlers, Mr. Jones just said, they're a challenging team. They're going to have their work cut out for them.
Yeah, especially after what Marty's did to Shimlers. So they also need points. So it's important for them. It's a home game. So yeah, UWC also need points, so it's going to be tough, and I think it's going to be an exciting game.
Yeah. Danny, let's finish off with some of your plans for the weekend. This coming weekend, you've got clubs, administrators, management getting together for sort of like a strategic session, a breakaway session in Durban. Just tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, JP, a lot of the behind the scenes stuff one never speaks about, and that. So part of our strategy going forward is to engage with the clubs, and you know, any strategy speaks about you need to engage with your stakeholders, find out what they need, what's their requirements, etc. How does it fuse into your strategic plan, and then how does it fuse into SARU's strategic plan, and obviously SASCOC and all those things. So this is part of a process where we will be engaging with clubs and club administrators in finding out, as well as developing a number of developmental plans for us, and then obviously strategically to improve club rugby, improve sustainability, improve the quality of the game. You know, that's all. This is all part of our all-out strategic process.
Well, I'm going to be facilitating the session for you on Saturday, and I'm really looking forward to find out from the clubs themselves what are their challenges, what are their own, what's their own ethos. Why is it that they like to do club rugby? What is it that they want to pull from the game? What is it that they think they want to see for their own club and their own community? Do you expect that there's going to be quite a diverse set of information coming out of the meeting?
Well, I mean, the Cape Town, by its very nature, Western Province is quite a diverse component. So we will, I mean, diverse in culture, religion, racial. So we are hoping that, and diversity is our strength actually.
Yeah.
So there will be a number of activities coming from them, which we could fuse together and come up into an action plan. So we're looking forward to understand and hear what clubs are doing, what they need, and how we can engage as a collective, both the club and province. How can we meet our goals?
A large part of the session on Saturday will be based around the using the National Transformation Charter and the various components of the Transformation Charter. But when one looks at the Transformation Charter, it's quite broad. There are a lot of different components in there, such as government priorities, demographics, capacity building, high performance. There's a lot of information one can draw from the Charter that can help sports federations and clubs plot their way forward.
Look, JP, the sad thing about transformation is the perception that it's only about color. And the whole issue about sports transformation, it's about changing the way we do things, being more inclusive, growing the sport, growing the capacity of players and the capacity of administration and coaches and all those things. But we've been bogged down around the issue of only color.
Yeah.
And that has actually retarded the whole process. So we are hoping that we will sketch the platform around what is transformation, what do we need to do, and how do we engage, because when government rates federations, when they reflect on transformation, they don't just reflect on transforming the color change. It's transforming the individual, so that the individual can transform his club, his school and society, and then ultimately transform the landscape of the South African society.
It would be great to see at the end of this. I mean, we're looking here. I'm looking at your vision, your strategic plan towards 2020, and ironically now it is 2020. And it would be interesting to see where have we come since the start of the strategic plan. But when you look at this, one of the pages that I look at here is it says strategic goals. It would be great to come out of this session with an idea of what your goals are, because they quite often say that if you don't have a direction, if you don't have a route, and you don't know where your goals are, then it's very hard to achieve your goals.
No, that's true. Goals are important, and it gives you. The whole thing about strategy is planning the roadmap for you to achieve your goals and objectives.
Yeah.
That's fundamental. So you're right. This will be part of a process. It's not going to be a one-size-fits-all, and it's not going to be everything is going to be resolved in one meeting.
Yeah.
So it's a process going forward, and because the goals of the union and the goals of the clubs could be different.
Yeah.
And it should be different because you're having different constituencies as such.
Yeah.
So, but there needs to be a common thread through all these things, and that's what we're trying to engage our clubs with.
Well, you know, sitting on the outside and looking in, I think one maybe gets so used to doing things all the time that maybe the public and athletes out there don't quite realize how lucky they are to have a leadership, even such as you have at the Western Province Rugby, people like yourself and your executive committee and that, and Jerome. You've got true leaders and people that are organizing things every day. Not all organizations have this, and maybe sometimes we also take it for granted. Perhaps that's one of the components that can also might be brought to light on the day, is the sense of appreciation of having leaders who volunteer their time and step up to the plate. Because as I say, it's not a common phenomenon. Jerome, maybe we get very used to it.
Yeah, it's true, JP. And as you say, I think people have sort of an idea what we do in Western Province. but not everybody always understand it. Like I had an interview with a journalist last week, and this guy was actually surprised to see what we do, and we sometimes don't want to talk about it, but the perception are out there that there's not much going on. But if people just know what's the day-to-day stuff that we do at Western Province and how we keep running and how we work. So like my day starts 8:30 in the morning, and I leave the HPC at 9 o'clock because our club guys are currently, guys are working, they're coming at 6. But that's how we work. But this guy was actually surprised to see like what are we really doing, and then that information doesn't really always get to all the clubs, and I think Saturday will be a good opportunity that people can understand and they know, and also as you say, the 2020 vision that we have, we can't just say it's a vision. Now people must buy in and we must move towards that vision.
A number of different components though, Danny, so it'll be interesting to see what we come out with on Saturday if we look at this, but it's about creating the cohesion between the leadership and the membership, so at the end of the day everybody's moving forward on the same page.
But also, JP, it's about educating. As Jerome says, a lot of people are not aware of the activities and the footprint that Western Province has. I mean, we all tend to forget that, and the reason, if you look at Western Province and the Stormers, if you look at their role on the South African landscape and international, it's a top brand. It's within the top echelon of rugby globally. The amount of people playing the game, the quality of the game, and the number of people watching the game. There, Western Province is certainly, as I said, in the top 1% globally in rugby. And so, if you look at our school systems, our club systems, we all tend to only think of our club or our school, and we are blinkered. But if we start breaking down our blinkers and joining up the dots, as you would say, then it's a big organization. Rugby has been played here in the Western Cape for a long time, for over 100 years, and that resonates in the administration and in the quality that we find within our club structure and in the Western Province rugby structure.
Well, we're looking forward to it, and I'm sure that this is going to be a watershed moment. So I personally look forward to being there and helping and facilitating, and we'll give a lot of feedback in the weeks to come. Jerome Parvater, your rugby plans for the weekend, sir?
At Newlands, got 2 sides going against Boland on Saturday.
Of course, you're playing the curtain raiser.
Playing the curtain raiser against Boland, yeah. So exciting to see what the club guys can do again.
Fantastic. Mr. Jones, your plans for the weekend?
Well, it starts on Friday already, JP. Besides all the meetings that we have during the week, Friday afternoon we have a World Rugby judicial officers and citing commissioners workshop taking place at Western Province Cricket. We are getting for 2 World Rugby facilitators coming in, one from Kenya, one from Zimbabwe.
Are you mentally playing through your weekend diary at the moment? Because it sounds like it sounds like I'm going to be listening for a while.
Correct. That's Saturday. I mean, that's Friday. Saturday, the same thing. Saturday morning, I'm split between the JO and Citing Commissioners Workshop, as well as the Club Rugby Breakaway or Indaba.
Yeah.
And then obviously in the afternoon, it's my match manager duty job with the Stormers.
With your tie on, jacket
with
and
my tie on,
we'll be looking.
jacket on, but it's too hot for the jacket now. So it's an active
All right.
and full and full program.
Okay, folks. Right. It's a very, very busy rugby weekend. It's all systems go. Rugby is up and running. We're gonna have a lot of feedback for you next week, and we look forward to doing that. That's a wrap from us here at Cape Rugby TV. We'll see you again next week, same time, same place. Have a fantastic rugby weekend. Bye bye.